What stopped you from committing suicide? My Chad-like tendencies. Realizing that you will die anyways regardless. When I have a really bad day, I tell myself to just hold on until nighttime. At night, I tell myself to get to bed early, just kill of that bad day and start again tomorrow. When I wake up the next day, I usually feel even worse, but get distracted by my desire for my morning coffee, which I love. I also like breakfast, and I'll make myself something yummy and very simple, like peanut butter on some nice bread or a toaster waffle. I also love my morning puzzles, so I do those. By the time I'm done with all that, I am usually distracted by what I need to get done that day. If it's a weekend or some other occasion when there is nothing I have to do, I'll try to think of some I want, like to get my 10k steps, or fresh peaches, or get a nice cappuccino at a favorite place. And that will the plan to go for those things. If I still feel bad, I just hang on until nighttime and repeat. I'm a coward. My cat. Failing. 1. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. A twisted perception on it. Life is good. I enjoy being alive. Now, or that one time 20 years ago? Now, my parents already lost a child last year. Would never put them through it again. Then, my ex-BF came over and called an ambulance. So far spite. The universe clearly wants me to off myself, but I'm refusing to out of spite. My cat and my parents. I just love them too much to put them through that. This was 26 or so years ago. But that sub saved me. My dog man, the thought of causing him the pain of missing me is a lot more acute than the pain of scraping through another day. Knowing the trauma that it might cause my family, I just can't bring myself to go out that way, knowing how it would adversely affect everyone. They would grieve for me, they shouldn't, but they would. And I wouldn't want to cause them that pain. I only wish I could get them to come to terms with it. My life has never had much in it that I've found worth living for. But I love my family, so I guess I'll limp through this life the best I can, for them. Damn. Never attempted, but sometimes thought about it. I remind myself of something to look forward to in the future. For example, a movie I really want to see. It's kinda silly, but sometimes a silly reason is all I need to keep going. Nothing but I'm even too dumb to die lol. The kindergarteners that I taught during the 2016 to 2017 school year. A shitton of things. But still not enough to keep me from trying again. Nothing, it was just a bad attempt. Probably intentional. But I was hurting, I was alone, confused and in pain. For me? Mostly just not wanting to cause pain to my loved ones. I have a close friend who legitimately didn't commit suicide because she wanted to watch the next episode of her favorite TV show. Every week she would give it strong consideration, but always decided she could just do it after the show was over. Fortunately, by the time the series ended, she was in a much better place mentally. Revenge. The inability to die. I survived the attempt via self-poisoning. I also survived being shot, stabbed, lit on fire, burned with acid, getting run over by a semi, struck by lightning, being in a plane crash, falling off a building, and drowning. Eventually someone told me God must really want me dead, and fuck that guy, I'll stay alive just to spite the non-existent bastard. My friend called me while I was downing pills. I didn't sound right and she kept asking where I was. I eventually told her and she dropped everything and picked me up and took me to the emergency room. A co-worker saw me while I was eating a whole box of Xanax and stopped me. I attempted and was rushed to the hospital. Things aren't better now though, I'm alive but I'm not really living, if that makes sense. The days just kind of go by, hoping that my sticking around will present opportunities and give life more meaning. My friend did it first. I realized that if I did it my brother would go right after me, that and my cat. The wooden beam didn't support my weight. My grandma. I was in my senior year back then and she was the first person to go into my room to wake me up early for school. The thought of her seeing me in that state, I couldn't bear thinking of how she would react. I love her so much and she means the world to me. Nothing. I died and was resuscitated. Somehow I feel like life will get better. Also, I'm really looking forward to the things I can and will achieve. Then, there's my mom and my sisters. My brother. Knowing the day of my death. Didn't take a high enough dosage. The thought of how my family would feel and the effect it'd have on them. My GTA account TBH. My mom. She doesn't know I'm suicidal, but she's the only one who's keeping me going. Spite. My kids. Counseling, learning to talk to people. And I got laid. My daughters. My now husband and my cats. I love them so much that the thought of leaving them was stronger than wanting to leave the world. Luck. I don't believe in any sort of afterlife, and the idea of non-existence terrifies me. My idiot friend calling me almost every day. I realized the other day that without her I would have been alone aside from my family, which has more of a negative effect on me than anything else. But she has called me almost every day for the past month and a half and made me smile and actually have something to wake up for. And I realized I think she accidentally saved my life, again. I'm on call with her RN and she's all sleepy and being an idiot. I love this girl so much and I'd do just about anything for her. Streetlight Manifesto, band, particularly Better Place, Better Time. When I was in my senior year of HS, my girlfriend committed suicide after going through some trauma with an ex. That coupled with some depression and abusive parents led me to be actively suicidal, depressed. Ended up falling in love with the band and started catching shows and following them around throughout college, and it was enough to keep me from pulling the trigger, and helped me just get to a place where I learned how to enjoy things again. My sister was in the next room. That moment of realizing she would find me, of realizing how irreparably damaged her inner peace and worldview would be, single-handedly kept me from attempting at the worst time in my life. She died a few years later, so she got the last laugh, IDK. My buddy Rob. I've told him a few times, but he was there for me through the worst of my depression. Thanks, mate. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. My mom. It would crush her. I haven't done much in my life. I'm 19 turning 20 in 3 months and I haven't had my first kiss yet. I want to go out with my friends, get drunk, just have fun. I want to follow through my plan to become a doctor and save lives. I want to explore and travel the world. I want to become the best godfather to my goddaughter. I don't want to leave my brothers like their father and mine did. They are still alive, but they left us all alone with our mother. I want to overcome my shyness, my social anxiety, being able to talk to strangers and making new friends. This is what came to me the night I was thinking about doing it. Fortunately, I'm following through with almost everything and am happy that I didn't do it. I'm not ready yet, but I ain't no quitter. The thought of my kids having to suffer in this life without at least one person in their corner fighting for them. The first time, when I had a plan and everything, I didn't want my family to have to deal with clearing out all the weird personal stuff and sex toys from my room after I was gone. But digging everything out and getting rid of it was too much for my barely functioning self to deal with, so it was a continuously resetting plan of I'll do it tomorrow, or maybe next week. A couple years later, when shit got bad again, and I found myself sitting by the docks in the dead of night, struggling to think of some reason, any reason, not to just slip into the water and disappear forever. What stopped me was the dumbest fucking thing. My autistic hyperfixation at that point was the Avengers, and I'm pretty sure they just announced the release date for Age of Ultron. I don't think we even knew the title at that point though. But yeah, that's what pulled me back, the thought that I'd like to wait and see what my favorite characters were gonna do next. Not my family, not religion or morality, just my blobos. Everything rested on that future movie. Thankfully, by the time that movie came out, I had turned my life around entirely. I'd gotten some mental health stuff diagnosed and was on the right medication. I had a job that I enjoyed, and had just moved in with the love of my life. I remember sitting in the theater on the opening night, holding her hand, thinking I genuinely don't even care if this movie sucks. Which is a relief, cause it did. Lol, it really sucked, but I didn't even care, cause I fucking won. I wanted to see how Steven Universe was going to end. I loved my family and my pets, but it was easy to my absence not affecting them or being better for them. But if I died, I wouldn't know how my favorite show ended. It doesn't always have to be a person, pet, or purpose. Sometimes a reason to stay can just be a cartoon. I have kids. I don't want them to ever think this is a solution. Cigarettes and anime.